Well, thank you so much. In 2019 general election, the nation was at crossroads, and it was an opportunity for us to make critical decision, and that decision was determining who is going to be the president of this country, because we don't have any other country to call our own. We just have Nigeria as our own country. And the young people that we are clamoring for, there was a kind of division among them. They did not come together. We had a pact, presidential aspirants coming together, but along the line, they could not come together. So they fell apart. That's why I now said between Atiku and Buhari, because the young people, they were not part of the race as far as I'm concerned. We had to make decision, and the decision was between Atiku and Buhari. So Buhari, I'm a kind of person that as an activist, I cherish integrity. Somebody who has the relentless, quest to ameliorate the dwindling fortunes of the poor masses. And I saw Buhari as somebody that, he's a kind of person that he lives a kind of simple and modest life. He has no case of corruption and all that. And I believe that that's the kind of person we need. Atiku, for me, is a no-no, because he's a businessman. So I supported Buhari, but unfortunately, people are crying, people are lamenting. Me personally, the attributes and qualities I saw in Buhari that made me, root for him over Atiku, I'm not seeing anything anymore. People are dying, Boko Haram insurgency, and he's not saying anything. During Goodluck Jonathan's era, people cherished Jonathan because of the fact that he institutionalized democratic dispensation. He made everybody to speak. You can speak your mind. You can say whatever you want, so long as you are saying something that will bring about development in the country. But now you don't talk anymore. People are dying. Our president cannot come out and make a pronouncement that even just to a kind of media chat to sympathize with the people, the bereaved families. Buhari is so nonchalant. There is conspiracy of silence. Nobody is saying anything. And for me, I supported him. And people are saying, oh, no, so you supported Buhari, you should not talk. No. I think I'm in the best position to talk because I voted for him. And I can equally tell you that, sir, I voted for you for reasons, and I'm not seeing anything anymore. You are not living up to expectation. You are not doing all the things that necessitated and that lured me into voting for him. So I cannot be supporting a president who will not guarantee the safety and security of the citizens of the country.
What about those youths that are in APC? So they are supporting Buhari because they are APC members. So what we have to say to them, because they are still supporting Buhari despite all these complaints?
They are suffering. There is no job. And somebody somewhere who is attached to Buhari, who has one political position or the other, is actually paying their bills, footing their bills. So if you tell such person not to support Buhari, there's a problem. It's like removing the person's source of livelihood. And the best way we can do it is through mass conscientization and sensitization of the people. We need to tell them it's either you detach yourself or you perpetually and forever remain attached to them. Whenever you need to eat, you go and meet them. We can, for crying out loud, without supporting any politician, as we know they created the hardship, so that you have no choice but to come to wherever they are. Whenever they call you, you can even abandon anything you are doing. You quickly run to them. But we can detach ourselves from that yoke if this nation must move forward. So we need to detach ourselves now. I'm calling on Nigerian youth who are still supporting this guy, despite everything Buhari is doing, despite the fact that Buhari is not living up to expectations. The issue of Sowore is even the one that is making me, in fact, it's manic. How can somebody, on the 6th of November this year, Sowore was given a warrant for release with Bakari, I think, or Lawale Bakari. Two of them, these are people who has defied, all the daunting odds just to make sure that they can speak for those who cannot speak for themselves. So I cannot continue supporting a government that there will be no freedom of speech. There will be violation of human rights. The country is going down every day. There is declining integrity in everything, and I can't keep supporting such government. I wanted the best for my country. That's why I supported Buhari. But what is happening in this country, I can't continue. I can't just be saying I want to support Buhari. Let's just assume that maybe he's going to contest again. This is not his second. I can never do it in my entire life. Let me just say it is a mistake. Now they want to pass the social media bill, which is going to be a kind of stifle our freedom of speech. There will be no freedom of speech. That's what that means, because now they are using under the guise of social media, to curb hate speeches and all that. But my brother, from what is happening in this country, they have discovered that the social media has become the only avenue for the people to voice out against impunity, against executive rascality, and recklessness in the management of the nation's treasury. That is the only way, because the conventional media, I have to tell you the truth, most of them, they have been compromised. They are now being a kind of ancillary aid to the corrupt politicians. They are now helping them. So the things that the conventional media cannot broadcast, we are doing it on the social media. And by the time this bill sees the light of the day, we are done for in this country, because nobody can even go to the social media and say, post at the road that leads to my community. We have a representative who is not even working any day, embezzling money. Nobody can say that again. So they are trying to gag our voice. They are trying to make us to keep quiet perpetually, and nobody should criticize them. And in a country or in a government whereby people don't have that, freedom of speech to say no, these things, that's the democratic temperament actually. So if we cannot say that this is what we want in our country, our leaders, you can't hold our leaders accountable, that means we are doomed. Nobody is talking about passing a bill that will necessitate the resuscitation of our hospitals that are in moribund condition. There is no sophisticated and up-to-date modern equipment. People are dying avoidable deaths. They are not talking about the roads that are death trap everywhere. We don't have stable power. Even people that are struggling to eke out a living, they can't even boast of just 3 hours of uninterrupted power supply just to boost their business, and Nigerians are not even asking for much, because Nigerians are resilient, they are dogged and indefatigable people. They are hardworking. They just want the necessary things to be just put in place, and they will thrive. We are living in ocean and we are dying of thirst. We can't have water to drink. I am not happy, because Nigerian youths, for them, during election, you see what happened. If you don't give them cook rice for them, give them 500 naira, they will put their PVCs in their pockets. They just want something to entice them to come and vote. At this age and time that we should take we should present a bold step and unite as a people, and make sure that the younger generation, the future generation, will not see us and be calling us idiots, because the older ones have failed, or we shouldn't fail the future generation. So the country has gotten to the level whereby Nigerian youth, we should have a rethink. We should come together and advocate for oneness of the youth. We shouldn't be thinking of things that are of no serious concern to our national life. So oppression and tyranny is not what we need in this country. We are in a democratic dispensation, and you are now trying to pass a bill that will now, under the guise of hate speeches and all that, you now want to gag. People will not talk anymore. People will not hold the government accountable and say, no, this is what we want. You cannot say it anymore. Before you know it, now everybody, we are no more safe. They'll be picking everybody, and you might be at the bus stop, they will pick you up. You will be at your work, anywhere they can pick you up, because you just said what they don't want to hear. Nigeria is a country that we claim to have law, that we're a lawful country. But it's so sad that law, they make reference to law when their interest is threatened. Now, Sowore has violated the law. He wanted to lead a revolution which amounts to treasonable felony. Now, Sowore, that same Sowore, the same Ijoma Ojukwu of the Abuja Federal High Court has said, release this guy. This young man should be released, for crying out loud. And for me, it has metamorphosed from detention, from what I may call legal detention to abduction. For me, for now, Sowore is is in serious abduction. He has been abducted. He has been kidnapped. For me, because it's a gross violation, it's an infraction of his fundamental human rights for freedom of movement and association, freedom of personal liberty. His human right has been violated. Freedom, the right to fair hearing, his inviolable right to health, to fair hearing. They don't want to hear him anymore. They just put him there in detention. Just because of what? Just because of the fact that he is saying that the way this country is going, we can have a better place where people can call their own. Now he has been there since 6th of November that the court gave order for Sowore to be released. They left him there. The democracy activists who went there to protest, welcome him, they tear gassed them. They were dispersed. They carried out all manner of aggression, and they wanted to kill them, they wanted to injure them. Some people ran away with injuries, varying degrees of injuries. Is that how we want our country? This is not the country we envisage. We can do better. So for me, I cannot continue to support a government that cannot guarantee the basic necessities of human life, the basic social amenities that people that made us to vote for him. So for me, I'm not happy voting for him again. And funny enough, I canvass vigorously for Buhari because I believe that since the young people have, they couldn't come together and put their house together. We needed to make a decision. That's the most fundamental thing. And we needed somebody, and for me, it's not Atiku, he will unction of this country. We now believe that at least all politicians are evil, but let's go for a lesser evil. I saw Buhari as a lesser evil. But somebody who cannot come out and say that the killings is against the killings. Now Sowore has been in detention with absolute connivance with the presidency, and nobody is saying anything. Professor Yemi Oshibanjo is a man I hold to high esteem. I respect him as a lawyer who knows what it means to violate fundamental human rights. He's equally keeping mum. So nobody can tell me that Sowore's perpetual detention is not the DSS is not in cahoots with the presidency. That's a lie. If the presidency says Buhari should be released today, Sowore should be released today, Sowore will be released. And the fact remains that they cannot release Sowore because they believe that Sowore is a thorn in their flesh. Sowore has become the only hard nut that they have that they cannot crack. So they believe that the best thing is just to incarcerate him and put him where he will not have freedom to advocate for the masses. Because they believe if they release him, Buhari's government Sowore is going to threaten them more because he's not happy the way things are going, which is why I'm advocating that everybody should join Sowore in this struggle. It's not a Sowore thing. I am saying it here. Today is Sowore. Tomorrow it might be me. It might be someone else. It might be you. Just because you are just saying what should be done for the people. So if we don't voice out now, everybody is happy because you have your freedom. You don't know what it means for somebody to, freedom, for somebody to be denied of his own freedom of movement, association, and personal liberty. Now everybody is moving around. We should advocate for the immediate release of Comrade Omoyele Sowore. His sin for me is just saying, the government, you are doing what will not help the people to have a good life. Put corruption. See, when I read the history of Sowore as a young activist, I was motivated by his never say die attitudinal predilection in criticizing social injustice, and his stance when it comes to injustice and oppression of the masses. So I respect him so much, despite the fact that along the line nobody is perfect. He might have gone about it the wrong way, calling for revolution. But the fact remains that they are saying that he has violated the law. Now that the same law is saying release him, and they are the ones violating the law now. So are we now saying, is it not clear that the country is a lawless country? This is the person that you said he has violated the law. The same law that prosecuted him, now saying release him, he has met his bail condition. The same they don't want to release him. That is why I don't blame Sowore when he goes about saying there is no law in this country. There is no law. Because if there is law, they should have released the young man because he has met the bail conditions for his release. Now they are still keeping him there. Because my own is that Nigerian youths, I am not happy. We have to stand up against what is happening in this country. All these politicians, they don't have the interests of the country at heart. I'm saying it here. I'm not scared of being killed. Maybe tomorrow somebody will be following me. I am saying it that Nigerian youth, we have to unite now and take our destinies into our hands.